Should I own my trademark or should my company? We're going to talk about that, specifically 4 things. What kind of company should actually own your marks, right? Should you have a company? What is it? We have a very detailed questionnaire we're going to take you through. Number 2, the benefits of having your entity versus you. So you really have to know those differences. Number 3, how do you actually get a trademark? Can you do it by yourself? Yes. So how do you go through and get a registration? How do you actually get your mark? How do you maintain your marks, which is a bigger deal? And then number 4, the pitfalls of owning a trademark personally, which are a lot. So you already know where we're headed. Yes, your company needs to own it, but that's the first thing. What kind of company? So a lot of you have just a core operating company, and inside that company, you have your marks, your database, your URLs, or worse, you're still a sole proprietor and you own all that personally, which means if you were ever sued, all of that can go away. You say, well, my marks aren't worth a lot today. They might be. Like I have a mark called Live Out Loud, right? When Oprah started using Live Out Loud as a slogan, it totally screwed up my search engine optimization structure because it's Oprah and a bigger database, bigger following, trumped my company. Then people would start using just the whole Live Out Loud slogan. And then there's a Christian artist and a country artist and a rapper. Everybody's got a Live Out Loud song. So why do we change the company name to Integrated Wealth Systems? Just for a new brand for SEO. So inside your company structure, why would you keep all of your, like what I call your pristine assets? Whenever you start a company, you need 2 engines that drive it. You need to get incorporated and you need a database. Every company I start, those are the first 2 things I do, and it's what I expect you to do. So there's 2 links below. 1, to have a strategy session to figure out what kind of company or companies you need. And number 2, ask RMS, which is Ask Rapid Marketing Systems, for $297 a month. Let us just begin your database and your marketing for you. So once you have those, and you got to say, well, who should own my marks? Well, my company that I have that owns all of my marks, which I have worldwide marks. By the way, there's a whole cost structure we're going to get to by the end of the video. Whether you do a trademark or not is still a big decision. And the structure we're going to talk to you about is having your database, your URLs, like all the royalties of my books. All of that is a very pristine company by itself and only does business with my other companies, which means it can't get sued. So all of those are held very pristinely off to the side, and it does business with my operating companies. So that's how mine's structured. Well, how the legal team is going to structure you, I don't know. You need to click on that link and get a strategy session. Then you got to say, well, do I do a mark or not? So what are the benefits of having the legal structure? Well, number 1 is protection. Just like I described, a company that's completely away from your operating company, because your operating company is full of clients. Your biggest litigation problem and your liability problem is people. So you want to keep anything that's pristine in a contractual relationship, having it held in your company. So as you become an author, as you actually create some marks, you create some sayings. I have a lot of what we call Loralisms that are actually trademarked, and they are held in a company contractually bound to the operating company. So we get to use them, the operating company, but it's not owned by the operating company. So again, I need you to have a strategy session so we set this up right from the beginning. If you actually continue to operate because you don't want to spend the money to actually get it done right, it's messy to clean it up later because you're going to have the history of it being owned. There's going to be a statute of limitations, potentially up to 4 years, that they can look back and still take the mark. So this is a really serious decision that you need to call our team and have a conversation about what to do and how to do it and what structure to keep it in. So yes, you need an entity. Yes, your mark should be held in an entity. Do you have 1 entity or 2 is the question at hand. The benefits, though, are extraordinary if you want to defend your mark. So let's go to how do you get a mark? Well, you can just go to the trademark, the website. So you can go to USPTO and you can actually search, make sure that the mark's not already taken by someone. And the thing that no one really told me until I got deep into getting marks is you have to do classifications. So you pay for every classification. So for example, Live Out Loud paid for a seminar classification, an event classification, a publication classification. So everything that you want to claim, you have to pay for additionally. Hence why I would encourage you to probably use a trademark lawyer to get it done right versus you wandering around on a website hoping you're clicking the right buttons and getting the right structure. And again, you want to put it in the company that you want to end it in so it has only history in that one company for any litigation. So you say, well, how does it all work? A whole nother thing. And I always say, the reason I became so, the breadth of my knowledge is so wide is because I've lived it everywhere. Actually marked Live Out Loud as a worldwide mark in every continent. Didn't go to Africa to actually execute it. So I arrive in Africa years later after I got the mark, paid for the mark the whole time. Doesn't matter. There's a thing called squatters' rights. It's actually, the legal term is the actual use of the mark. So there was another company. It was a photography company. They actually created these cool books. It was actually a cool company. They called themselves Live Out Loud South Africa. So I get to South Africa, about to go on stage, and I get served a stop order that I can't go on stage because I'm using their mark. Well, I actually paid for the international mark, but they used it. So the usage actually will trump your paying for it. Do you get marked if you're not going to go use it immediately? I don't know. For me, that was a huge, I shouldn't say waste of money. We actually settled and mutually could use it because I had to settle out of court. I had thousands of people waiting for me on a stage. We had to very quickly make a settlement so I could continue my tour. So we learned the hard way. So again, classifications is a big one. So you could say, well, I protected my whole mark and now somebody is over here using it. But if you use it, say, for a medical device or something different that you didn't classify the mark, it's still open for somebody else to buy. So again, you want to get some legal help, I think. Doing this on your own is risky. And then the biggest thing no one tells you about, in addition to the usage and the squatters' rights, is defending your mark. So when Oprah started using Live Out Loud as a slogan, when the artists came out with their songs, country artists, right? A rapper. I mean, Live Out Loud got taken by so many different people in so many categories, and everybody got a mark, right? Because a country artist song is very different than a rapper song. So those are different classifications. Again, complicated conversation. That's why there are intellectual property and trademark lawyers. That's all they do all day to make sure you not only get the right marks, you get the right classifications, and you start using them immediately so they are yours to use. And probably more importantly is, are you going to defend them? So really, am I going to go sue Oprah? So my lawyer did send Oprah's team a letter, and we agreed that we could actually use our search terms and mutually use it. Because what are you going to do? Sue Oprah? I mean, come on. At what point are you going to not spend legal money to defend your mark? It's a big deal, and it's a huge cost. If you're unwilling to defend it, here's my, I'd say, simple advice. Right? And I don't give a lot of advice. If you're not willing to spend the money throughout your lifetime of the business to defend the mark, don't get it. Why get it? Why spend the money if you're not going to legally then have it defended? I have so many people that I've had to legally defend Live Out Loud against. And at some point you got to say, is it all worth the money? Or do you just go make a bunch of money and outperform them in branding and marketing? Up to you. But those are some of the considerations that are really, really serious. So while you're here, I'm going to take a little pause. I want you to subscribe to my channel. Click that notification button. I want you here 5 days a week. There's something that we're talking about every day. And again, if instead of clicking off to say, well, I don't need a mark. Well, you don't know. Maybe your kids want to have a business and they have an interesting idea. Everything we talk about is relevant. You should be asking yourself, why haven't I encountered this yet? What do I need to do to actually put this into my life, into my wealth plan, into my business plan? So the pitfalls of owning it personally is exactly that. If you got sued personally, they can take the marks as part of a settlement. And if you actually have a good mark that is actually marketable and has created a lot of revenue and has revenue attached, they get it. So everything that you own, I want inside a corporate structure that is of value. You personally shouldn't have anything but the ownership control of the company, and the company owns everything. It owns your vehicles, it should own your phone, it owns your trademarks, it owns all the royalties of all of the books if you ever write them. Everything is owned by a company. You own nothing but control it all. Let me help you get it set up. Go to askloral.com. At any point, ask a question, make a request. Make sure you grab that strategy session with our team and let us help you move to the next level, whatever that is for you. I'll talk to you tomorrow.